Godspeed and party on.
Spencer Lazar at MMAinterviews.tv here with the legend, fresh off his championship victory, taking a Strikeforce belt. Dan Henderson, give us a little insight on the fight itself and the first 2 rounds leading up to your KO.
You know, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but you know, it seemed like I had won definitely the first 2 rounds. First round was a little closer than I'd like because I got a little knocked down, but you know, I felt good. I felt like I was controlling the pace of the fight and where the fight happened. So I mean, I kept them in the clinch if I wanted to. I just felt like I was in control the whole time.
So talk a little bit about that punch that he did land. How hurt were you, if at all, and how were you able to shake that off, get the takedown right after?
You know, it definitely knocked me silly and knocked me down, you know, but I felt like I was aware the whole time. So it's a matter of, you know, at that point just trying to recover without getting hurt more. So I felt like with him rushing into me, I was able to grab a hold of him and you know, he probably could have tried to push me away and finish me that way, but I felt like instinctually I just grabbed a hold and took him down, you know, so it worked out pretty well. And once I got on the ground on top of him, I was able to let my the head clear the rest of the way and then go to work.
Your Greco background obviously came into play in this fight. As I mentioned outside, there was a time when it looked like you were about to be on your back, and all of a sudden you're putting him on his back. How clutch is that to have as a backbone for you?
You know, I think that's been instrumental in my whole MMA career. Just the Greco portion, it just translates a lot better to MMA than any other wrestling, or it just allows me to control where the sport is, control the clinch, control the takedowns, defend takedowns. So, you know, I feel pretty fortunate that I've had that in my background.
Another fight where we've seen you on your back, obviously the Jake Shields fight, he's a high-level grappler. A lot of people think of you as a wrestler, and you're a top guy more, but how are you able to, is it just experience? Because on your back, you do just fine? You know nobody's able to hurt you?
Well, you know, I've been doing this MMA thing for about 14 years now, so it's not like I haven't tried to learn along the way. I felt like I've been one of those guys that's put a lot of effort into learning and evolving with the sport. So, you know, I'm pretty comfortable whoever I'm, whether it's grappling or kickboxing or wrestling with. I'm comfortable anywhere. So, I mean, I think that's what's made me pretty well-rounded as an MMA guy.
Is this the most satisfying belt for you, the best one that you've had over your career? Obviously, we got a line of them over there.
Well, I don't know if I would call it the most satisfying, but it's right up there. I mean, it's pretty gratifying that, you know, when you finally achieve something that you set your mind to, you know. But then, and to do it when you're 40 years old, when kind of people doubt you, if not for any regards, it's just for my age. So it's been, you know, it was definitely a sweet thing to have.
So what KO in your career is the most satisfying, or the one that you look like that was your favorite KO?
Gratifying in different ways. There's a few. This one was right up there too. You know, he was a very dangerous guy, and but more on the up and coming side. And yeah, I think probably the one that was the most gratifying, and I felt like I had the most sense of accomplishment, was when I knocked out Wanderlei. You know, and Bisping, you know, that was just fun. So it wasn't a huge accomplishment in a fighting regard, but I think it was something that the whole world was hoping for, and I gave it to him. So I think that's why that one's so sweet.
So already swirling, we have this talk about Fedor going on, and I talked to his attorney. He mentioned that it was more likely at a catch weight. So maybe in the future, I'm sure you want to defend your title maybe first this summer, but is that something in the future that you look forward to, especially if he gets back on the winning track?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, I think that's just something the fans and the media has been stirring up over the last year or so since I've been with Strikeforce. So it's something I'm not opposed to, and you know, it would be an honor to do, but you know, if I did it, I wouldn't worry about any weight classes. He's a heavyweight. I'd be more fighting hit. You know, I wouldn't want him to kill himself to get down to mine, it wouldn't be as entertaining for the fans. So I've had no problem fighting heavyweight for that one.
Would you still come in around the normal, about 204, like you do at light heavyweight, or would you try to put on a little bit of extra size if that was to happen?
No, I'd come in with what I fought. You know, if I was going to put on extra size, I would have tried to do it for my last fight, you know, or my last two. I weigh about 203, 204, and I fight well there. Why pack on a few lbs?
And April 9th, we've got Diaz versus Daley. I understand you probably make an appearance there. Give us your thoughts on that bout and how you see that one going.
You know, I think that's entertaining. I think Diaz will probably try and stand up and beat Paul Daley at his game, and obviously Paul Daley is not going to try and take Nick Diaz down. So I think it's definitely going to be a stand-up war the whole time, and Paul Daley definitely has the more refined and more power striking out of the two, but Diaz is just so unorthodox and long, so that could change things, and who knows what's going to happen, you know. But I think it's going to be an entertaining fight.
And then also on that card, of course, is a potential #1 contender spot to fight you next, which is between Mousasi and Mike Kyle. Who would you rather fight? How do you see that fight going?
I have no idea who I'd rather fight, and I don't know if that's an option either. You know, I haven't heard anything from Strikeforce on my next bout yet. So, you know, I think Mike Kyle's definitely the more dangerous out of the two with his striking, but Musashi's definitely more rounded and a lot more relaxed when he's out there, and is going to be more dangerous as the fight goes on. So, you know, I think I don't know who would win that one. I think, but they both have a great shot. I wouldn't know who to bet on, or who I'd want to fight for that matter. They're both tough.
Godspeed and party on.